Following the overall pretty positive feedback to our video attempting to put together the strongest possible 11 made up of players signed for less than £10 million, a lot of people asked us to take a crack at a best 11 made up only of homegrown academy graduates. Before we start, I want to be as clear and explicit as possible about the criteria. For the purposes of this 11, an academy graduate must have been at a club from the age of 16 at the very oldest, and they cannot have made a first team appearance for any other club, with the exception of if they've gone out on loan, of course. To clarify, someone like Frankie de Jong then, who joined Ajax at the age of 17 and had already made a first team appearance for another club, cannot feature. Also, and I hope this will be obvious, someone like Gerard Piqué or Paul Pogba, who are now back at their clubs where they were homegrown players, have been rendered ineligible, having left and returned to their former clubs. Okay, hopefully that's clear. It's pretty basic stuff. I just wanted to avoid any confusion in the comments. Here is our HITC Sevens homegrown 11. Goalkeeper: Gianluigi Donnarumma. It seems like a pretty straightforward decision between the sticks, with AC Milan and Italy number 1 Gianluigi Donnarumma leading the way. Donnarumma's breakthrough into the first team at the San Siro at the age of 16 was pretty stunning news at the time, since goalkeepers don't tend to break through anywhere near that young, especially not at such an established club. 4 years on, the 20-year-old shotstopper has registered 159 appearances for the Rossoneri, as well as winning 12 caps for the Italian national team. The towering shotstopper perhaps hasn't propelled immediately to the top of the tree in terms of the best goalkeepers on the planet, as some expected when he impressed so young, but to be among Europe's finest goalkeepers at 20 is a remarkable achievement in of itself, and Donnarumma should only keep on improving. Right back: Trent Alexander-Arnold. We were really spoiled for choice in the right back position, I would suggest more so than any other in fact, and we will come to the plethora of options who were mightily unfortunate to miss out with our substitutes bench and honourable mentions. Taking that right back spot though is 20-year-old Liverpool regular Trent Alexander-Arnold. A mainstay in the most formidable back four in the Premier League this season, Liverpool have conceded just 20 goals in the league at the time of this recording. Alexander-Arnold has been a key part of that, as well as offering a fantastic attacking outlet and deliveries into the box down the right flank. He just squeaks into our 11 over some really tough competition. Centre back: Matthias Delay. An incredibly obvious inclusion on the right side of centre back, Matthias Delay is probably the most impressive teenage centre back of the last 20 years. The first and to date only defender to win the Golden Boy Award, Delay is the youngest captain in the history of both Ajax and the Champions League. Having joined the Ajax Academy at the age of 9, it's safe to say the incredibly assured teenage centre-back comfortably qualifies for this 11. Centre-back: Lucas Hernandez. Eligible now, but not for long, Lucas Hernandez is soon to leave Atletico Madrid, the club he has been at since the age of 11. When he does leave for Bayern Munich in the summer, he will become the second most expensive defender of all time in a deal worth a reported £68 million. Nevertheless, at the time of this recording, the World Cup winner is still contracted to Atletico, making him a perfect candidate in alongside Matthias Delay. Aged 23, Lucas looked to be in the shadow of his brother Theo a few years ago, but following Theo's transfer to Real Madrid, there's been a real role reversal there. Lucas is now among the most well-rounded young defenders on the planet, and he's equally capable at left back or centre back. Left back: David Alaba. There is rich competition for places in this 11, and I suspect supporters of a certain Glasgow-based outfit may well be disgruntled about our choice at left back. We'll come to that with our subs and honourable mentions though, and in truth, left back had to be David Alaba. A bit of a child prodigy, Alaba won his first cap for Austria at the age of 17, and he's won 64 to date, now aged 26. He was on the cusp of turning 16 when he signed for Bayern Munich in 2008, and he'd established himself as a regular starter in Bavaria by 2011. Widely considered the best left-back in the world between 2013 and 2016, Alaba did have a slight wobble after Pep Guardiola left the club, but he's found his feet again recently and is comfortably one of the most complete fullbacks in the world game. Holding midfield: Sergio Busquets. Adding some experience to what is so far a pretty youthful 11, Sergio Busquets is more than capable of marshalling this side from holding midfield. The finest pivot in football over the last couple of decades, and arguably the finest club side ever assembled, Busquets is the most underappreciated and misunderstood player of his generation. A phenomenally intelligent footballer with sumptuous technique, Busquets made our list of the 100 greatest footballers of all time, and having joined Barcelona at the age of 16, he naturally comes into our starting 11 in holding midfield. Central midfield. Sergio Roberto. We've gone with a 4-3-3 here, which means two central midfielders get the luxury of playing in front of Sergio Busquets. One of them already knows all too well what that is like, since Sergio Roberto is now in his 9th season as a first-team player at Barcelona. His exceptional versatility has led him to become a bit of a utility player at the Camp Nou, and although he has played a lot of football at right back, we think he looks most assured in the middle of the park. Quick, industrious and intelligent, the 27-year-old has made 239 appearances for Barcelona, having joined the club at the age of 14. Central midfield. Koke. Making it an entirely La Liga-based midfield triangle, in alongside Sergio Roberto and in front of Sergio Busquets, is Atletico star Koke. Another really versatile and well-rounded footballer, Koke has been with Atletico Madrid since he was 8 years old. A mainstay in Diego Simeone's side for the last 6 or 7 years, Koke has now established himself as the driving force at the heart of this Atletico side's midfield. As well as having made over 400 appearances for his boyhood club, Koke has also won a mightily impressive 44 caps at the age of 27 for a Spanish national team with no lack of quality in central midfield. Right wing. Lionel Messi. Well, this team is starting to shape up quite nicely. On the right of our front three, if we're honest, he can play wherever he likes, is Barcelona legend Lionel Messi. Now aged 31, Messi joined Barcelona when he was a 13-year-old, his first contract with the club being agreed on a napkin. Messi's family had sought a deal for their son at Barcelona because they couldn't afford the necessary treatment for his growth hormone deficiency, and it would be fair to say Barcelona have now received a pretty healthy return on their initial investment. 18 years on from arriving at the Camp Nou, Messi has played 681 games for the club, during which time he has scored 597 goals, set countless all-time records, and cemented himself in many people's minds as the greatest footballer to have ever lived. Left wing. Lorenzo Insigne. There's plenty of goals in our front three, and on the opposite flank to Lionel Messi is Napoli star Lorenzo Insigne. Born 15 kilometres north of Naples, Insigne joined Napoli's youth setup at the age of 15. Diminutive but explosive, Insigne has since scored 76 goals in 300 appearances for Napoli, including 20 in 49 in his most impressive campaign. He has previously been linked with the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea, but at the age of 27, the fleet-footed Italian international is still at the Stadio San Paolo right now. Centre forward. Harry Kane. As said, our front three had goals in them, and through the middle is Mr. Goals himself, Sir Harry of Kane. Once a youth team player at both Arsenal and Watford, the England captain joined Tottenham's youth ranks at the age of 11. His progression to first-team stardom wasn't always an obvious one. Kane had difficult loan spells at Norwich and Leicester, in addition to decent but hardly spectacular ones at Millwall and Leyton Orient. During the 2014-15 season though, having never previously hit double figures with any club at any level, Kane exploded into life at White Hart Lane. He bagged 31 goals in 51 games, taking him from an obscure serial loanee to European Golden Boot nominee. Cries of one-season wonder were heard throughout the English game, but Kane proceeded to hit 28 goals in the next season, 35 in the season after that, and an incredible 41 last season. He's now firmly established himself as one of the finest marksmen in the world game, and he leads the line for our homegrown 11. The team, including substitutes and manager. As always with these kind of fancy 11s, we do have 7 substitutes and a manager. On the bench, as backup to Gianluigi Donnarumma, we're going for Lyon number 1, Anthony Lopez. Despite being a former youth and now full Portuguese international, Lopez was born in France, and the talented shot-stopper has been with Lyon since the age of 9. We said we had lots of options in the fullback areas, and we weren't kidding. The likes of Nacho at Real Madrid, Aaron Wan-Bissaka at Crystal Palace, and Hector Bellerin at Arsenal were all options at right back, but we thought AlexanderArnold was the best fit for our 11. At left back, we have to mention Celtic stalwart Kieran Tierney being misses out to Spanish international Jose Luis Gaya for a spot on the bench. Joining Gaya is fellow Spanish international Nacho, who offers cover at both right back and centre back. Moving into midfield, our choice as a holding or central midfield player is Koke's Atletico teammate Saul. Only 24 years of age, the talented international is fast approaching 250 appearances for his boyhood club. Joining him is Ligue 1 star and World Cup winner Nabil Fekir. Another graduate of the excellent Lyon Academy, Fekir came incredibly close to joining Liverpool for €60 million last summer, but since that move fell through, he has to take up a place on our bench. In the more advanced areas, we can't overlook João Felix's form this season. The 19-year-old looks for one of the finest prospects in the European game at Benfica, where he scored 18 goals in 39 games in his breakout campaign. Lastly, we're going to go for Manchester United frontman Marcus Rashford. The Englishman has blown hot and cold since making his incredible breakthrough in early 2016. 3 years on, the 21-year-old has put together streaks of impressive performances, but he's yet to really stamp down himself as a consistent, dependable, 20-plus goal, top-draw centre-forward. The potential is there though, of that there can be no doubt. In charge of that talented bunch, we're going to go for Eddie Howe. I'm sure there are other options, maybe even more accomplished ones, but Howe was the first name that popped into my head, having come through the Bournemouth Academy. Of course, he doesn't meet the strict standards set for players to qualify since he has left and rejoined Bournemouth, so feel free to leave your suggestions for a genuine homegrown manager in the comments. To recap, our starting 11 reads like this: Gianluigi Donnarumma, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Matthias Delay, Lucas Hernandez, David Alaba, Sergio Busquets, Sergi Roberto, Koke, Lionel Messi, Lorenzo Insigne, and Harry Kane, with a bench of Anthony Lopez, Nacho, Jose Luis Gaya, Saul, Nabil Fekir, João Felix, and Marcus Rashford. Other players we could have mentioned include the likes of Adrien Rabiot, Iker Muniain, Julian Brandt, Federico Chiesa, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, all of whom would be more than worthy candidates, but that's just the strength in depth of the players we were dealing with. As always, thanks for watching, I genuinely really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, and you don't already, do feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications for HITC Sevens. I've got a few little projects coming up that should be worth a watch. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.